All right, and we back, baby. Hey. And I didn't blow the speakers this time.
Oh, whoa.
We're right there, baby.
Hey, yo.
Episode 136 of the Werkz, and we're back. Another week, back-to-back weeks, actually.
Back to back. Mm-hmm.
Was it first time in a long time? So, yeah, man, we're back.
I'm shaking my head, yes. Just in case.
Yeah. Yes, everybody. You should know.
I was listening to the last... you said something, and, like, I was like, what is he doing? Like, I think you were nodding your head yes, and I remember, because obviously I was here.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody... And then you were like, yes. I was like, all right. So I forget. Some people only listen to it.
Yeah, listen to the pod, yeah. All right, man, we're back. Episode 136 of the Werkz. Another week of Men's Mental Health Month. Finally got through that the first time. Another week of ice raids. Another week of actually not another week of, but a start to a week of maybe we're going to go to World War III.
Oh.
Yep.
Test,
yeah,
test,
man.
test.
That's another addition to our crazy ass fucking shit that's going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Gas prices are supposed to go to $8 supposedly.
What?
That's gonna be crazy.
I'm taking the train.
Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy summer. I mean,
Hey, man, I'm going to have to tell my job, hey, I need to be at home at least 3 days a week, please.
$8 a fucking gallon, bro. It's crazy, dude. I'm just glad. I think for me, it's just like this, if it does happen for the summer, because usually the summer it goes up high, and then, right before school starts or maybe a little after school, it kind of dips down again. That my kids are not in school, so I don't have to waste, gas for that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, man. All right. Well, let's go around the room and get our mental health checks of the week. I'll go first this time. My week has been very stressful this week. My company just launched a new product. So, that shit dropped and felt like everyone was just running with their head cut off, trying to get that shit dropped, staged, packaged, shipped on time. So it's, really fucking crazy week. Other than that, I mean, we dropped the Father Pod episode 3 for Father's Day. That was a success. Really great episode. Thank you again to PJ, Clint, and Vince again for joining me. I'm scheduling another Father Pod for July with hopefully James and Anthony.
Anthony?
Yeah.
Oh.
So hopefully I can get that situated.
I'm surprised you haven't had Eric on.
I've been trying to get this fuck on, man, but
No, I told him, I said, wow, you're never going to make the Father Pod.
dude, I've been trying to get this.
No, he told me. He did
pod.
tell me. He's like, Ray's always asking me, can you go on this week? Or you available? And he's just like, it just doesn't work out.
Yeah, but the thing is, he doesn't even tell me sometimes. He just like, I'll be like, hey, man, you want to get on the pod? Yeah, I'll let you know. And then, like,
the day of the pod,
I'm like, all right, I'm not going to text him. And he just doesn't text me. And I'm like, all right.
Nah, I'm just kidding, though. That's cool.
Jerk.
James and Anthony?
Jerk.
You're a jerk.
You're a jerk.
You're a jerk.
You're a jerk.
Don't even ask me to. Never mind.
Nah, I'm just kidding. But yeah, hopefully I can get James and Anthony on the pod for Father Pod episode 4. Like I said, I don't know how long this Father Pod thing is going to go, but I mean, the more I do it, the more I feel like it's a necessary thing
It's cool. It's different, like, perspectives,
Yeah.
Like
so we're going to do it as long as we can for that. But yeah, so again, we did that. We dropped that. Stressful week. I've been working out this week, so I'm on my 3rd week of working out. So I feel really good. I can tell my body's starting to transform. Not like super crazy, but I can tell like I'm working out. Because you know how I've seen my body when I'm just not working out, and I know I'm not working out. But now that I'm on my 3rd week and I'm regularly working out, I can see that my body's starting to tone up a little bit, and I'm like, I'm back. So I got over the 2 weeks, the 2-week kind of thing where it's either you're gonna stay on it or get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on my 3rd week, so
and he's on it.
We're good. Check back next week. But yeah, man. So other than that, everything's good. I mean, really have nothing else to say other than I'm at I'll say a 7.5. I'm
7.5.
I'm in a good headspace right now.
That's good.
Other than that, my wife did hurt herself. A
Oh.
couple days ago, she smashed her finger on a dumbbell, and it is
See, that's why I don't work out
disgusting.
anymore. Just kidding.
Yeah,
A
but-
taco would have never done that.
Never. Yeah, so shout out to my wife. She's recovering right now from that. So, yeah, crazy.
It's because she
stuff.
was lifting hundreds. That's why, guys.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, this is way too light for me," and she tried to put it down and
Yeah.
got her finger.
Yeah, it was bad. But yeah,
Oh, what's it? We're all making jokes. She's like, "No, it's really bad."
no, it's really bad. It's like
That's what I'm
her
saying,
nails
Robert, you
black
check.
and shit.
Oh,
It's,
man.
it's bad. But yeah, shout out to her though. She's
Yep.
recovering. All right, Chris.
My week was a short week. I had Thursday and today off.
Whoa.
Juneteenth off?
Well, I had Juneteenth off, and I took today off because I had to. do
You're
some
observing
stuff.
Juneteenth.
Yeah, observing. Yeah, exactly. So it's good and it's bad because obviously it puts more stress on you because you have to do a full week's worth of work in less time.
Yep.
So that's where I'm at, and I'm a little behind, but I think I should be able to catch up next week. Hopefully, we'll see. And I don't know, we were talking earlier, but again, the hoopty trials. I went to go get an oil change in my car, and now I gotta fix an axle seal
Damn.
for my transmission. So we'll see when. Hopefully, I can do that by next week. Yeah, because we're not partying next week, so
Yeah.
hopefully I can use that time and get that done. And hopefully I can get my AC finally up and running
Yeah.
because it's getting hot
Sick.
as balls.
It is.
So
Hot
and
as
I hate it. Yep. And the thing is, my car not only just doesn't have AC, like this bitch is on hot the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
So like the vents down on the bottom is always hot, and I'm like, what the hell?
My
Like,
legs are always hot.
Yeah.
And I have
Yeah.
AC. I
Yeah.
just got accustomed not to using it.
Yeah. I'm just
Yeah,
like,
that's
man.
crazy. Is it? Is
I'm
it?
like, where's
is it
this
hot?
air coming from?
Is it hot because of the turbo? Like, why is it blowing a lot of hot
Yeah,
air?
yeah, because it has it's coming in from the engine.
Yeah,
I
So
just,
it's
yeah,
just-
it's
it's
just
just hot
hot
in there.
engine.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. They got to fix that fire. Well, my car's old as fuck, so it doesn't really matter anymore. and I'm way past like the lemon law and that shit too. So I would have taken advantage if I could have.
That's crazy. Yeah.
But yeah. Other than that, it's a good week. I'm gonna say solid 6 right now, just because I feel a little bit of the pressure of being behind at work. But tomorrow I'm going to Disneyland, so
Oh,
Nice.
that'd be cool.
nice.
Yep.
With
Good luck.
Genesis? Then?
Huh? No,
Or just by yourself?
people. Yeah.
Oh,
just
that's
by
cool.
myself.
That's cool. That's cool.
Some people.
Some people. Yeah.
My week has been okay. My neck is just, I don't know what's going on. I need to go back to the doctor. I just feel like that's the one thing that's just been annoying me is like I said, my shoulder and my neck is just still strained. I don't know what's going on with it. I just got to go back and hopefully figure it out because it just keeps bothering me. As for work, tomorrow looks like it's going to be an easy day, so I'm pretty happy for that. The past couple of days have been pretty good. Can't complain. What else? I will say something interesting happened today. I don't think I told you guys, but I actually work next to U.S. Immigrations and Customs Agency.
Rob's a snitch. Let's get
And
$1,000.
and it's an asylum building and like the U.S. immigrations, and I was walking out of the front of the building and I saw like two girls, like they were standing there earlier. I didn't know what they were doing, and then like I saw them filming and I turned and sure enough there was two cars of ICE agents there,
crazy.
and they got out and they went inside, and I don't know if they were going inside with somebody, like if they were like shuffling somebody in, bringing somebody out. I didn't really get to see, but you could tell, face covered, all that shit. And I'm like walking by and I'm like staring at them. I'm like drinking my soda, eating my Pop-Tart, kind of just like towards our building because they're really close. It's like here is our building, and then the church where the parking lot is their building,
Okay.
like kind of that close.
Mm.
And then I'm like, and again, cars unmarked, completely blacked out fucking windows. I'm just like looking at them.
Dude, they got old ass cars now too.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like.
Yeah, it's like I said,
Crazy.
completely blacked out. No license plates on them. Nothing. I mean, you could tell it's a cop car or like a, but again, it's crazy that they're just driving around, no plates, nothing. And then I was like, damn, I kind of look like a gardener in this bright ass shirt, and my boots on and shit. I'm like, I better get my ass inside. But I was just like, the reason why I say it's interesting is just like, one, it's Orange County, and I know I worked next to that building, but I was like, I didn't think I would ever see, like, there's never agents there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were there. And they drove by me, and I kind of was trying to, like, I wasn't like doing anything, but like I said, I was just drinking my soda, eating my Pop-Tart, and they drove, like, went and turned. But I was like, you couldn't see shit in that car.
Mm.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even tell if the guy was looking at me or not. I was driving. I couldn't see him at all. But
They're all everyone's staring at him. And he doesn't even know it.
I'm just like with my Pop-Tart and my fucking soda.
Is he? Is he? No.
Goodbye, good boy.
No, it was definitely interesting though. Like I said, it was very surreal because, like I said, I mean, it's Orange County, and not to be like, it's so I go to that building because every time there's a breakfast truck that pulls up and like serves like breakfast burritos and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I always see people going in and out. It's always Asians and Middle Eastern people.
God damn.
It's always Asians and Middle Eastern people. There's some Hispanics and Mexican, Latino, whatever. But I was like, I wonder what they were doing here. I don't know. It was kind of crazy.
That's crazy, dude. Yeah. I don't know, man. When they first started doing those ice raids, when they said they were going to be in La Puente, I did see a couple ice cars, and it looked like they were headed from the Old Town, like where our city hall is and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
The police station's over there.
Yeah, it's that way. So they were coming from that way this way,
Mm.
and I was just like, man, like, to me, it's just so crazy, bro. Like, I mean, I see videos now where there was one where they pulled up in like a newer Ford Focus. It was like a blue one, blacked out windows. The guy was standing right outside his door. They pulled up right in front, and they tried to jump out so fast to get him.
Mm-hmm.
And the dude ran inside and closed the door, and they tried to like open his door. And I was like, these guys are fucking crazy, bro.
I saw one where the car was backing up. Did you see that one?
Yeah.
And like fucking hit the door and like bent the door out.
Yeah.
And they were trying to close the door. Like the guy's running to the car. He jumps in. He puts in like park or drive, and he's trying to go. He's trying to close the door, and it's all fucked up.
Oh man.
And it, like hit somebody's car because it was backed up with the door open. And it's like.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy, bro. Like, I don't even know. Like,
That's crazy. I haven't seen any.
Well, again, I
haven't
didn't.
seen it. You guys have seen. I haven't seen.
well, I
any.
have. Well, Tone's like seen like the actual like shit happen in front of him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the cars like here and there, but like I don't know. To me, it's just
The only thing that I've seen is on the stretch of 605 going towards the 105, like going south. I think it was must have been last Thursday. I saw must have been 20 to 30 cop cars, like actual like
Black and
sheriffs.
whites.
Like sheriff, yeah, black and whites, and they were just all on the side of the road. I don't know what that was.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought there was a parade, or not parade, but like they were going to protest on the freeway, so they were just like not making sure people didn't go on.
Maybe, yeah, but it
To
was
shut down the freeway or something, or
it
maybe
was
people were going to go
crazy.
and like, was there like a
no
walkway? Nothing like that.
No, it was nothing like that. But that was crazy. Cause
I didn't think I was going to see anything. Like, I mean, I really just saw them, but I mean, where I'm at, where I work, and where I live, I'm literally back and home and work. I don't go anywhere else, so I didn't think I would really like see them in front of me.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was interesting.
I don't know.
yeah, man. All right, like I said, we're on Men's Mental Health Month, and I have a couple things I wanted to to bring up that I saw on Instagram. So bear with me. It's some kind of like I would say passages that I've seen people say about Men's Mental Health Month. This one says men are less likely to talk about mental health, but more likely to die from it. 75% of suicides are by men, and men are less likely to seek help or be diagnosed, which is why this is such important for us. Mental health in general, but men's mental health, right? The mask of being fine is killing men. Anger withdrawals or workaholism can hide depression. Men are often socialized to suppress vulnerability. That's why we, on this pod, we try to be as vulnerable as we can, as much as we can allow to, I guess you could say, that we're comfortable to sometimes. And I know a lot of times, on this pod, like if you watch all our episodes or, the ones that we get really deep into it, sometimes we get total deep into our emotions and, we're crying or, we get really emotional. And then there's some where it feels like we kind of like dip our toe,
kind of skim through.
Yeah, skim through it and just trying to like kind of, So, this pod, again, we tried our best to do it, and like we're not perfect, and there's times where we're just not comfortable going in that deep end. But then there's a lot of times if you listen to this pod that we've broken down and we've talked our heart out and stuff like that. So if you haven't, go back and listen to our older episodes. We have a lot of good stuff on there. But yeah, so let's move on. Men's pain looks different and it gets missed. Depression is men may show as irritability, risk taking, or substance use. Many don't even realize they're struggling until it's severe. Man up is not help, it's harmful. Telling men to tighten up, reinforce silence. Strength is admitting when you need help.
Yeah, that part.
Therapy is not weakness. Medication is not failure. Talking is not oversharing. Mental health supports its healthcare. Not indulge. Wait, what does it say? Mental health support is healthcare, not indulgence. No one heals alone. The next one is check on your friends, especially the ones who seem fine. Ask real questions. Don't wait for someone to open up. Be the one who reaches out. And that one I think is a very, really important one, right? And we say this mostly on every pod where we say, check on your loved ones, check on your friends, even the ones you think that, seem like they're happy, You could be your close friends at work. It can be your close friends, in life. It can be your family. They seem like they're happy. They seem like they're, every time you see them, they're laughing or whatever. But you never know the demons that they're fighting. And a lot of them and a lot of us, I know for sure me, I don't like just spilling my tea onto somebody. Because again, they always say, if you go to a pile and you throw out all your shit that you're dealing with, there's somebody else has more shit they're dealing with than you, right? And I think that's one thing where it's like you don't never know what somebody else is going through, so you don't ever want to be the one to be like, hey, this is what I'm going through. Now you're giving them more, right? And again, it's a kind of a what do they call it?
A double-edged sword.
Double-edged sword, where it's like you don't want to do that, but you're hoping somebody else will reach out and be like, I can help you, right? I can be the one to do that. And that's what we talk about. It's like just reaching out and asking the right questions. Because if you just say, hey, are you good? They're going to be like, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's as far as you get, right? Asking, maybe asking, hey, how's your day been? How has your mental been? How's the week's been? Have you been going through anything? Those kind of questions will probably help get that the floodgates to open. So, um,
Or maybe not, but sometimes you might need just that little bit of company that might help you. You know.
yeah, and even
Also,
even those ones where they say like, I'm just here to listen,
yeah.
right? Like I don't need you to fix my problems. I don't need you to give me the answers. I don't need you to, hold my hand. I just want you to sit there and listen to me vent,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because a lot of us, I think, feel better after we vent. So
So yeah, sometimes like a problem can be really big in your head, and when you say it out loud, you kind of process it, and it could be smaller than what you think, or it might give you ideas of how
to fix it
to
or
yourself, or
yeah,
because I don't know, nobody can fix your problems, but we're all here to help each other as much as we can. Even a helping, what is it called? Even a sympathetic ear is pretty good too.
Yep. Yeah. So, and then the last one I have is men's mental health matters, not just this month, but every month. Share this, start a conversation. You could save a life. And again, like I said, it says men's mental health month matters, but I think it's mental health in general. It could be men, women, kids, all that stuff. Mental health matters. Period. Share this and start a conversation because you can save somebody's life, not just men's life, obviously. So, yeah, that's the gist of or the big segment of our mental health. But I also had this one mental health question. I had read something a while back. It was talking about because I have this where I cannot sleep in a quiet room. Like if it's say nothing's on, not even a fan, it's just pitch. I don't want to say you can't say pitch dark, pitch quiet, but like if it's like pin drop quiet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I can't sleep like that. I have to have like a fan on, like the noise from the fan, that type of shit. The TV to fall asleep, and they said that it has to do with traumas that you've gone through your life where you need that to, I guess, their brain to register the noise, and it's not so just quiet, because quiet gets you, I guess, your mind rolling, or thinking, kind of.
You hear your own thoughts.
Basically hear your thoughts. So the noise kind of masks the the noise in your head, to kind of put you to sleep. I guess you feel comfort from the noise that you sleep with. But I'm not sure if you guys have the same issue, or not the same issue, but you guys do the same thing, or can you guys sleep with like no noise?
Yeah, I can sleep.
Well, I know you can sleep. This motherfucker can sleep through a train coming through the door.
I usually have the fan on, or I'll play sounds for my phone. So, like if I know like I'm not gonna sleep good, I'll put rain, water, like raindrops. I actually think for me, like raindrops on a car, because there's like different rain sounds. You can put. Raindrops on a car actually is like soothing to me. There's another one I listen to, which is it's like a thunderstorm.
Those are good. So
like I said, I'll put one of those on. The thunderstorm one, something with rain, something with water.
Yeah. I like rain sounds.
TikTok messed me up on rain sounds.
Why?
Because it makes me think of fried chicken. Now every time I hear it, I'm like, is it rain? Is it fried chicken?
Just like,
do I smell anything?
But yeah, like I said, I listen. I usually have my fan on.
Yeah.
I can fall asleep. Like if there's quiet, I probably won't have the best sleep, or I won't fall asleep fast.
Yeah.
But I can. But most of the time, like I said, I have my fan on because I'm just hot, and that sound too, like I said, is going off. But again, I'll put sounds on. Music and TV. Like if I'm going to bed, I don't really have that on.
Yeah.
I can fall asleep with it on, and like wake up and be like, man, what fucking time is it? Like pass out if it's on. Like the other day, I fell asleep during the Dodger game.
Yeah.
But I don't like. I know some people we'll put the TV. Like my mom likes to have the TV on when she goes to sleep.
Yeah.
So some people, do like to have the background noise of a show going to go to sleep. So I understand that. I just don't.
I can't have that.
I can't have like
If there's something active like music or a TV show, my brain will automatically start getting in that information. So, but if it's like, I don't know, thunder sound like that, I like that, or the fan's always on. But I could, if it's super quiet, I can just go to sleep too.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy for me. I remember doing that one time, trying to go to sleep with just like nothing. The fans weren't on, whatever, and I'm like, fuck.
It's weird because then you start listening to your breath.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you
and
start
then
hearing
and then
weird
st-
things.
And then you start
yeah.
hearing your heartbeat.
Well, you
Yeah.
guys have seen that like
And-
room that's completely quiet.
I
and,
want
like,
to go in there.
People lose their mind. Like they say, like somebody can't last. Like I think they said like is it an hour somebody can't last, but like the longest anybody has ever lasted in that room is like 20-something minutes.
Yeah.
Because they start hearing their own heartbeat,
It's crazy. Yep.
and they literally start going crazy from the silence. And it's not even the silence. It's like you start hearing like, I don't know if there's a bug in there. You probably could hear
Yeah.
the bug. Like it's
Hear
that.
yourself swallow.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like people, they say like that death, like that dead silence is like.
I want to do that. I want to go in there just to see.
I
Imagine
feel
you-
like I could do that, but then dude, they said people have tried. Like they think they're confident, and they go in there and they're just like, get me the fuck out of here,
Yeah, I
No,
think,
I'm
that
pretty
would,
sure,
I
yeah.
think that'd give me the fucking creeps, man.
right? Hear your own heart, hear
That-
yourself breathe, fart.
You hear the fart before it comes out.
Yeah. You hear it like start up here. It's coming.
But yeah, all right, man.
Not the bubble guts.
Chris is like, damn, I shouldn't have had the hot dog before.
Put some applesauce on my burrito, baby.
Chili cheese.
The chili cheese.
All right, man. Let's get straight into it. I just want to give a little shout outs. Shout out to R&R brand. Again, I always post their stuff. If you have any ideas for shirts, hats, tumblers, you want presents, gifts for your kids, whatever, they do all that stuff. Stickers and stuff like that. So if you want anything, shout out to R&R brand. They have Instagram, TikTok. I've reposted it a million times, all their stuff. So they have a lot of good shit. Go check them out. And then my nephew's business, Luxury Window Cleaners. They do service all the areas around LA, OC, IE, all that stuff like that. If you have a 2-story house that you want to get your windows washed, or just have a house period that you just want to get your windows washed, hit up Luxury Windows Cleaners. I always post them on our the Werkz Instagram as well. So go give them a follow, or recommend them to somebody that you might know that need it. So they do really good work. All right. Let's get into our first sports a little bit. The Lakers got sold to the owner from the Dodgers, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that this motherfucker has that much money. And I heard that he's a part of the group that owns Cadillac too.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh,
text you guys that, but I was just gonna wait for the pod. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Damn.
So yeah, I'm a fan now. Like, that's cool.
If you're listening, sponsor us.
Yeah, sponsor the Werkz pod too.
You got enough money?
Which is interesting because
Shout out.
they said he also owns some of the Andretti stuff, like with Andretti,
Mm.
Oh, really?
the other Indy and all that.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I was like, wasn't Andretti trying to get in?
Yeah.
I was like, why didn't he just get in with the Cadillac?
No, wasn't he? He was Cadillac.
I think that's.
Oh,
what,
is he?
But
Yeah, that's what they ended up doing.
Oh, is that what
they
they ended up
made
doing?
him step down though, because he wanted
Oh.
to be the face of Cadillac.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
Andretti.
okay.
But they were like,
Yeah, 'cause I was confused. I didn't know that. That's why I was like, why didn't he just get in with Cadillac if he's in with this guy in Indy, and I think it was Indy and maybe Formula E.
yeah,
I think this guy owns some teams in there too.
yeah. They didn't want Andretti as the face of Cadillac,
Oh, okay.
so they made
Yeah.
him be like, he's a part of it, but he's not like the face
Yeah.
or somebody who's actually like that stuff like that. So
But
I'm
yeah.
not sure why F1 is like. I feel like they don't like Andretti, or they just
He probably rubbed somebody the wrong way.
yeah.
That's probably all it
He
is.
needs to rub somebody the right way.
either that or it's like, oh, it's Indy, like
Yeah.
IndyCar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like the little brother.
Yeah. But wasn't he part of F1 before?
Who? No,
Never, right?
no.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like
Hmm.
they're probably like he's coming from F1.
Yeah.
Like he's lesser than us.
Yeah, that sucks. But yeah, so shout out to what's his name? Is his name Walter?
I think it's Tim Walter.
To Tim Walter. So yeah, I'm excited because now it
I
makes.
want to know how he made his money.
Yeah,
I mean, to own all these teams,
and he owns Chelsea too.
he owns the Sparks.
Yeah.
He owns Chelsea.
So
He owns Lakers. He owns the Dodgers now. He owns
I was
Cadillac F1.
Yeah, I was saying we're talking about it at work, and I was saying like, don't be surprised if he buys crypto, the arena.
Oh.
Well, I don't know if it was true, but they were saying he was trying to buy another team. They're like, watch him try to buy the Rams or something.
Oh yeah. Well,
But
no.
the funny thing is,
Steve Kroenke won't sell.
well, the funny thing is though, like they're saying he doesn't even live here. He lives in Chicago.
Yeah.
He's from the East Coast. He has all these LA teams.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean the weather.
Well, no, not even that. It's smart investment.
Well,
Look at-
yeah,
look at the
but I
Dodgers.
mean,
Look at
what?
the Dodgers.
You live in Chicago, but you get to spend your winters in LA.
They're saying watch him, like you said, buy his crypto or whatever, and then
make it fucking crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
like change how it looks, like on the inside, or
Yeah.
maybe even fucking.
because now it's just the Kings, Sparks, and Lakers. Now we don't have the fucking Clippers in our stadium anymore. We don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good move for them. Supposedly, Genie's gonna be the governor or whatever in charge for maybe a couple years, but I highly doubt it. I think it'll be like 1 year, and then she's out. Be like the Mark Cuban shit. So, but I mean, it's for I like personally. I like what he did with the Dodgers and how they've been running, not just that they've been winning, just the way they're ran is what I like, and I'm excited because he's coming over there. He's gonna bring that. It's gonna be a good thing.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely gonna be a good thing. A lot of people were saying like, "Wow, how could they sell the team?" And then a lot of people were like, it ripped their family apart.
Yeah.
The buses, like it just completely, like they were saying like they didn't get a unanimous vote to sell it. Some of the kids didn't want to sell it.
I'm sure. I mean,
but in the end,
I would assume the two youngest. I think it's Jesse Buss. I think Jesse Buss, and there's another younger son. I'm sure they didn't want to sell because they're they're probably thinking in their head like we're probably the next ones in line to But again, 10 billion.
Are there?
they were all 6 equal shares.
Are there a lot of teams that just one family owns them
Nah,
anymore?
not
Not
a lot.
anymore, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the NBA, I think
You're getting more and more where it's
Corporations.
it's
group.
groups.
I
Corporations.
I think the Buss family was probably the last one
Mm.
because before that it was Cuban who owned it. He had his. I know that the Celtics before they sold it, they just sold it for $6 billion.
Yeah.
They were a family.
The Ing family?
Yeah.
What is it? So I forget how you pronounce it.
They just sold it, so they're out. They sold it to a group. So I'm want to say, but I'll check the facts. But yeah,
I mean, you have what's his name? It was the Clippers. It's not really a family, but it's a
Ballmer.
guy.
yeah,
It's like a Cuban,
yeah.
where he. But the other
Uh,
thing too is like, they don't even own it 100%. They own, like I'm saying that the Buss family sold the majority interests.
Mhm.
They didn't even own all of it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of like Mark Cuban owned 51%.
Yeah, but they sold too.
No, that's what I'm saying though. Like they don't like even the whole family doesn't own it 100% outright.
yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Well, I would assume too. Like they would at a certain point, you would have to.
Because they sold what, like a
sold-
part of it to that Asian guy,
Yeah,
and then like Magic Johnson owns a little bit, doesn't he?
yeah. You would have to sell a little bit because I would assume money.
Mhm.
Like your family's gonna run out of money, right? eventually.
That cash flow. You need
Yeah,
that
you would need extra
injection of
cash flow.
money.
Whatever, so
That's
you would
crazy.
have
Imagine.
to. So
They're like, all right, well, we sold the team. You each get $1.5 billion
please.
or whatever it comes out to. Yeah, it's about 1.5 billion. Like, oh
But-
man, I really didn't want to sell the
Yeah.
team.
Yeah, for real. You're set for life. Generations.
so
Generational
crazy.
money. All right. Dodgers. There's a big story on the Dodgers yesterday. That they denied entry to ICE presence and stuff like that. What do you guys think? Because I know we're all thinking it. Everyone was talking shit about the Dodgers since all this shit's been happening. Nobody has said anything from the organization-wise. I think Kike, I think, what's his name? Glatterall, the pitcher.
I think it was just Kike.
Glatterall's been saying stuff. The pitcher
He
guy.
hasn't really been saying too much. I mean, he's been posting things, but he hasn't really said anything like Kike said.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Kike has been the first outspoken one.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Since all this shit's been going on, do you guys think it was like a planned, like I don't want to say staged, but do you think it was kind of like,
I don't think it was.
hey, you guys come down here,
Mhm.
and we're gonna tell you no?
I don't think it was that kind of staged.
No.
No, well, I don't know if it's true, right? If when the first raid started, like they said that they were using their parking lot already, and that's when there were no games there.
Yeah.
So,
Well, there's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of, and I can't even say what's real, what's not. So I know that there are technical parking lots where they're inside the stadium, where you actually go through a gate.
mhm.
They were not in.
They were not either.
There's
those are always
parking
closed.
lots on the outside of the stadium, which are still technically parking lots for Dodger Stadium
Mhm.
that they were using. Again, I don't know. People say, well, they're Dodger parking lots. They're parking lots that the Dodgers
open,
use.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Supposedly they're owned by the Dodgers. Supposedly they're not owned by the Dodgers. I can't tell you one way or another. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah.
Because they said, because also the Dodgers technically don't own their parking lots.
No, somebody. I think
Frank McCourt owns them.
Yeah, that's
Their previous owner. But supposedly, again, that's just so there's just too much information and misinformation. I don't know what's true. Because McCourt owns them, but they say no, the Dodgers have the rights to them, meaning they can decide to do whatever they want with them, and they have to cut him the money.
Yeah, I think he only. The only thing he owns for the parking lot is the cash flow. So
Yeah, so
he gets paid for the parking lot.
Yeah, so again, I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it is. But again, the parking lots they're talking about are
Not in
not
the actual
they weren't-
stadium.
You don't
Yeah.
go
They weren't
through a
the
gate.
actual
You
gate
pass
one, yeah.
if you've ever driven to Dodger Stadium, and you pass them when you go up
Mhm.
into the Sunset Gate. They're all the way to the right.
Yep.
They're gated.
Auxiliary.
They're right next to the fire department.
Yeah, yeah.
They're always doing training in there. The cops in the fire department. So that's why they were saying that the cops were letting them use that area. Again, don't know who owns them. Don't know. All I know is that yes, they were there. I seen the pictures of that. I don't think it was staged.
Yeah, that.
But who
question,
was there?
I agree. Mhm.
Because the Homeland Security said we weren't there, and then they later on said we were there, but we were briefly there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what was it? Were they there briefly? Were they not there? Was it them? Was it Border Patrol? What was Border Patrol doing there?
Yeah.
What fucking? I mean, I know Border Patrol can be like 100 miles away from a border or
Yeah.
whatever
Well,
bullshit rules.
It's even the fucking like they're over here like in LA driving around. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys doing out here?
So again, I don't think it was staged. Were they using it and then they told them to fuck off? Or did they really try to go into Dodger Stadium? Because I don't think they really tried to go into Dodger Stadium. What were they going to do in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or were they parked at the bottom because it's like a big area to park, like before you get to the gates, and then the Dodgers were like, kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there's just too much information and misinformation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So the Dodgers also put a statement out today saying that they're going to give them $1 million to the foundation that is helping immigrant families that are going through the ICE raids right now. What do you think? I mean, how do you feel since you're like a diehard Dodger fan, right? How do you feel the Dodgers did?
Oh, they definitely failed.
Yeah.
But again, it's always damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people said, well, why couldn't they just come out and say they were against it? And then I read a comment and somebody said, well, talk is cheap. They're putting money in.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, it's $1 billion. That's it.
That's
Yeah.
not enough. It's
Oh, I saw that. I was like, bro, like shut the fuck up.
the guy just bought the Lakers for $10 billion. He only put $1 billion.
Yeah.
It's always damned if you, damned if you don't. And I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm not defending them, but I'm just saying, did they fail? Yeah. Should they have put something out? Yeah. But were they behind? We don't know. Were they behind the scenes trying to
well,
do stuff?
So the thing that got me that, because I'm always with that kind of mindset as well, right? Like I don't ever want to put fire to a team or organization wise, because we never know what's going on behind the scenes, right? Because we're not.
Were
there.
they trying to work on this and do it?
But the thing that did piss me off is that lady that went to the stadium, sung the national anthem. She said all the shit that happened, and I don't believe that she was lying. And then the Dodgers tried to cover it up by saying, no, like, you know, you are invited back.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't know. And obviously I wasn't there.
The only question I have is when they invited her to sing the national anthem, how did they invite her? Did they say, hey, we want you to sing the national anthem? And then did she go, I want to do it in Spanish? And they said, no, we want you to do it in English.
Yeah, they told her that.
Yeah.
Hold on. I know, but I'm saying, how did they invite her? Because she said, oh, they told me I couldn't sing it in Spanish.
Yeah.
But did they ask you to sing it in Spanish and then they said no?
No,
'Cause to me, that's a difference.
no, they I think she posted a video. She had posted the video of them talking to.
And saying, we want you to do it in English.
Yes.
So, again, did they ask her originally to do it in English? And she said, I want to do it in Spanish. And they said, no, we want you to do it in English. Or did they say, hey, we want you to do it in Spanish? Then they backtrack and said, no, we want you to do it in English.
Yeah.
Because to me, those are two different scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And you might not agree. People might not agree with me. What I'm saying is, if they said, hey, we want you to do it in Spanish, and then days later they're like, oh, we want you to do it in English, and then they're like, we can't do it in Spanish.
Oh no,
Then I get that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would be pissed. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't be pissed, but I'm saying I'd be more pissed to find that out. But if they said, hey, we want you to do the national anthem, and then she's like, I want to do it in Spanish, they're like, hey, we kind of want you to do it in English.
Yeah.
And then you did it in Spanish, and like I told my mom, if they really wanted to cut her off, they would have cut the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they really did want her to do it, they would have just silenced her and cut the mic.
Yes. And no. Because
once you start, you can't.
well,
you can't stop that.
That's the
train.
thing. With all the shit going on right now,
Oh yeah,
if they would have cut the mic, all hell would have broken.
it would have been worse.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
there's two different scenarios. That's why I want to know, what did they
No, yeah.
ask
You're-
her to do?
100%. I told her.
And I'm
100%
not
agree
saying.
with you.
And
Yeah.
again, did they say you can't come back?
I would want to know.
Did they say, hey, you can come back? Supposedly they kicked her out, but it didn't. Again, if they were going to kick her out, they would they wouldn't have let her finish. I don't think.
I don't think they kicked her out, because
No, yeah.
but what I saw was she was saying that they told her manager that your client can't
Come back.
can't come back. But she was at the game, and she was like, "Well, I felt like they didn't want me there." Now, did they tell you can't be there? I don't think they told her that.
That's why
I think she left.
There's
of her
just a
own
lot of
volition, you know.
misinformation.
But
I just want to know: did they tell you, hey, we want you to do it in Spanish, and then they said no?
Mm-hmm.
Because that would be worse.
Yeah.
Or did they say, hey, we want you to do it in English? And she said, I want to do it in Spanish. And they said, hey, we want you to do it in English.
Mm-hmm.
Because the lady wasn't like, no, you need to do it in English. She wasn't rude. She was just like, hey, we just want to do it in English today.
Yeah.
Because she probably asked, hey, I want to do it in Spanish. And then they probably like, no, we want you to do it in English.
Mm-hmm.
She did it in Spanish. They didn't stop her. I'm not saying they should have stopped her either. But like I said, some people aren't going to agree with that. And I get it. But I just want to know, how did they invite her?
Yeah. No,
That's to me.
because I know those contracts are done months in advance, so it's not like it was a last minute.
yeah, like they,
And-
like, hey, can we get your client to come here
And
tomorrow?
the point to the
Yeah.
girl was, she's like, it's a sanctioned song, and you know, it is a legitimate Star Spangled Banner in Spanish. And I'm like, I'm 100% with you, and you should have done it in Spanish. but did they originally ask you to do it in Spanish?
Yeah. No, yeah, 100%. I get it.
So that's the only thing I say is like.
I wonder if it was like, you can come do the national anthem and do it the way you want to, and then she was like, "Well, I want to do it in Spanish."
And then
I
they're
wonder
like,
if
hey,
it's that kind of.
that's what I'm saying. And again, I'm not saying the Dodgers definitely handled this all wrong, but to your point, I'm not one to say like, you need to put a statement out. How many teams have put a statement out?
No,
Of all the, I'm just saying all the LA teams. How many? How many? Just 2.
I would say no. For this, what's going on right now? I mean, but for other shit that's happened, I think the Lakers are always in the forefront for that. I just think because everyone is honing in on the Dodgers. One, because the baseball in LA is like, when you think about that, it's Hispanic.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Blue Dodger hats.
80% of like the fans that go, even when we were shit, like when we sucked, it was like
Fernando Mania helped that.
Yes, I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So
but I'm saying,
I
how
think
many
that's
teams,
why it's mostly it's.
But how many teams have really
identified.
done it? Said anything?
I think the girls soccer
It's
team,
just 2 teams, the
right?
soccer teams.
Yeah,
that's
soccer
it.
team.
And like I said, it's damned if you, damned if you don't.
Yeah.
Oh, you took too long. Oh, only $1 million? That's it?
Yeah.
Why'd you take so long?
No,
Yeah,
see,
why didn't
with
you
that,
do it?
With that, I don't agree.
Yeah, for
Like,
me,
hey,
for me again, I think the Dodgers missed an opportunity because, for one, it's not the money thing. I don't care about that. I think it was a great gesture for them to do that. I just think they waited way too long.
They did.
They should have. They like I said, they missed the opportunity to be in the forefront for that, and especially with something that affects the people that go pay for your stadium and all the shit. Like as many as that's the only thing I think.
It was definitely interesting, just because also like, I remember when the fires happened and they're like, we're pledging $100 million, and you're like, fuck, no one else is doing that. $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
Again, were they just figuring it out in the behind the scenes?
Mm-hmm. No, that's why. That's why I said.
That's
why
why I don't know. Were they figuring it out, and then, they were trying to like get everything, their ducks in a row, to then when they announced it, because they even said there's more stuff we haven't announced, but we're gonna announce the $1 million now.
Yeah.
They said there's gonna be more stuff they're gonna announce of whatever, and it's like, were they just figuring it out behind the scenes before they came out and said it?
Yeah.
Or did they just say it now just because it was like there's just too much pressure from them? Again, I agree they failed, but I wasn't one to like wait and like, oh, they need to do something, because like I said, it was like whatever. Even if they came out and said something, let's say they came out like the second day, people are gonna say, well, you're not gonna donate.
Yeah.
Or that's all the statement you have.
Yeah. No, yeah, I get it. 100%.
People are still gonna hate on whatever it was gonna be, but they did fail.
Yeah,
100%. They could have put a statement out and said, "Hey, we agree. This is terrible, and we're gonna come up with some shit."
Yep.
And then, week or two later, like we are now, we're gonna donate $1 million, and then it's like win-win. So, but they definitely
dropped the ball on that. But I'm glad they're trying to fix it and do a lot of stuff. So, all right, man, let's get into a TikTok story I sent you guys. I was gonna go into ring culture, but it's gonna take too long. I sent you guys a TikTok about the driving service Turo. What's it called? Is it how you say it, Turo?
Yeah.
So I never knew what Turo was. But I guess
rent your car.
You can rent. People put their cars up on Turo, and you can rent their car for the day or whatever, right? It's like Enterprise and all that shit.
Do you know Axel, Chris?
Oh, so you guys get the same car? See, because this is what happened. I mean, this guy put his car on Turo, and somebody asked to borrow his car. Is the first person that once he put his car up, boom, instantly someone wanted to borrow his car. Yeah. So after the whole transaction happened and the person used his car, he got it back. 3 months later, he started noticing shit's happening to his car. He finally was like, you know what? After I've been replacing my clutch for
a
few months now, I need to go figure this out. He takes his car to the Ford dealer, and they tell him, hey man, your transmission is not even bolted correctly, and then these are not our bolts. Like, these are not the regular bolts, whatever, blah, blah. And he's like, what? And then he realized somebody fucking switched their transmission with his. And it's crazy to me, but it's not crazy to me because people do that shit on the regular. I've heard stories, not for Turo, but I've heard
people rent cars and
that's what I'm saying.
get tires.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was just gonna say that. I was like, I've heard stories of like people who were like, oh, I'm gonna rent the same car as mine from a car dealer or whatever, a rental service, and change the tires. Like, I'm like, dude, that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's wild. But I mean, teacher's own.
I mean, to change the whole transmission? That's crazy. And then, like, this guy didn't figure it out for a while.
Well, he said he was like, maybe I just suck at stick shift. That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, he also said that wasn't his daily driver though.
And
as
then,
well.
like, what do you do? You just take the L?
You have to.
You have to.
You can't
That's
do
what I'm saying.
anything.
Like, you can't do anything.
Because I
Yeah.
think honestly too, it was so long.
That's what I'm
like,
saying.
Yeah.
There's nothing really.
So much time has passed that where they're like, nah, you fucked up your own car and now you're trying to blame. But, like, I mean, don't transmissions get stamped with the VIN?
Well, I'm sure he
yeah.
changed it because the shit wasn't bolted on correctly, supposedly. So, I'm assuming they took his car. The person who took his car either had somebody help him change it.
Well, that's
or
what I'm
he
saying,
did
though. But, like, I'm
himself.
sure you could say, like, hey, this isn't the, like, you could see the VIN, or, like,
Yeah.
right? I don't
Yeah,
know.
no, yeah, they're all serialed.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
From-
you could see,
from this-
like, clearly this isn't from my car.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Is it, maybe it's an insurance claim. I don't know.
I don't know. He said it was 8 months after. So
No, I'm just saying, like, how,
but
I'm just trying to figure out, like, how does this guy fix this? Like,
you can't. I think you just got jacked.
Yeah, because he said that
That was
even he talked to Turo and they
It's-
weren't any help, and I was
Yeah,
like,
he was
man,
he was trying to fix his car under warranty, and they're like, well, this is not the original.
yeah, this is not the transmission.
the transmission. So
take the L, son.
That's
Sorry,
crazy.
bro. Yeah, that's one of those like it's crazy.
and that's
bro.
great. He rented it out one time. I don't know if he rented it out one time. I don't believe him on that, but
Well, he said it was a first person who rented out his car.
yeah, but
Right.
like
And then I would assume though too is like the first person rented his car, and then he said he was having those issues. Like
Like,
he took
you-
that shit off.
you would know, and they probably give you his address, man.
Yeah.
I'll go over there.
I'd be like, "Do you have the same car as me?" Yeah, motherfucker, that's mine.
Yep.
You know, even right now, like even with what the shit's going on right now, I'll drive to that motherfucker's house and be like, "Oh, you have the same car as me, huh?"
Yep.
Fucking, I'm
Check the VINs.
Yep.
Check the VINs right now.
exactly. Yep, motherfucker. Yeah. So
That's wild.
sucks for that guy.
I don't even think it's worth it if you. Side note: if you rent a car and you get tires, how much does a rental car cost? Is it going to be enough for like the
Tires?
tires?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because tires are pretty expensive now too. I don't think they put. I'm pretty sure they don't put cheap tires on these rental cars, but still, like, I don't think it'll be enough to cover
People are cheap.
whatever you do, unless you get like what a car for one day. How much would that cost?
It depends what kind of car. So like if,
But I know
yeah.
they make you put a deposit.
no, for sure.
I wonder how many people get away with that now.
Not a lot.
No, but I mean, like, you think about it. They have to inspect the cars when they come back.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, I had 75% tread life left, and you come back as bald as fuck. And you're like,
Sliding around in the parking
yeah,
lot.
you know what I mean? Like, you're like, all
You're
right.
coming in and you're like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, all right, well, clearly you're a fucking piece of shit.
All right, man. So we have a poll question from yours truly, Chris.
yeah.
It's red pill, blue pill.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Blue pill is Ace Ventura movie, PlayStation 1, Batman, Cartoon Network, Pepsi, Marvel vs. Capcom, Walmart, the Cool Ranch Doritos, and Sonic and Burger King. Red pill is Kmart, Nintendo 64, Billy Madison, Spider-Man, Coke, Nickelodeon, Super Mario, McDonald's, Cheetos, and 007. I already know what I want. So, what is your guys' choice?
Mine's gonna be blue. I'm taking the blue pill.
You're taking blue?
Yeah.
Why?
PlayStation. PlayStation.
I don't
bro.
know.
I'm
Rob.
taking PlayStation and Batman.
Honestly, I'm going red, but there's stuff in blue I would have prefer.
Oh, of course.
Like,
Like I prefer Coca-Cola.
What I'm saying is like I'd take Batman over Spider-Man. I'd take probably Doritos over Cheetos.
Same. I would take Pepsi over Coke, but I think for me,
You think Pepsi
But then
over Coke?
Yeah.
then like GoldenEye
GoldenEye
That's
and Mario, like
classics, and Nickelodeon. I like Cartoon Network too, but I mean, and McDonald's. I'll take McDonald's over.
that's what I'm
Burger King.
saying. I think there's just more stuff in red. Yeah, because like
Better movie, Ace Ventura or Billy Madison?
it's been a while since I've seen Billy Madison.
I think I'd go.
I think
Ace
I'd go Billy
Ventura.
Madison.
I think Ace Ventura, man.
I think I'd go Billy Madison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, Ace Ventura is one of the fucking funniest movies ever.
Sorry.
I didn't even watch those.
Was that the second one?
That was the what? He's in the jungle.
Yeah,
That's the second one.
Yeah,
that's the second one. Oh, the first one was the.
That's what I'm
right,
saying.
The Dolphins, that's right.
yeah.
I know a lot of the references for the second one.
Yeah, the second one's
Yeah.
funny.
That's what I mean. This is the first one with the dolphin.
I like the dolphin one too.
But I think Billy Madison for me would be better.
All right, man. We're getting to Addison's song of the week. Addison's song of the week.
Shit, I forgot.
Shout out to Addison. Addy, Batty with the fatty.
He's at the Wu-Tang concert right now.
Woo, Tang, Woo, Tang.
I bet you that's what it's gonna be. Nope.
Oh.
Did he not? He did not put a. I don't remember. Was that one was there or no?
Let me see.
Young Miko, what's up? That doesn't sound right. I think that wasn't there.
What was the song before that?
Intrapersonal turnover. No, I think that one wasn't there. I'm gonna say that's a new one. Young Miko, what's up?
Young Mika, what's up? From Addison's song of the week. All right, man.
Okay.
We're getting to the end of the pod. And do you guys have anything you guys want to bring up before we head out? I know we have a special day coming up soon. Special day coming up soon.
Oh, the F1 movie.
F1 movie?
In about 3 weeks now? 2 weeks?
What, 4th of July?
Oh. Somebody's birthday is coming
Oh,
up.
it's Addison's wife's birthday.
Hmm?
July 1st.
Somebody's birthday is coming up.
No
Yep.
one else's birthday is coming up.
No one else's birthday.
Somebody else's birthday is coming up. Somebody else's birthday coming up.
Oh, shit.
You have any plans?
Not yet. I was just talking about that with my sister. So I don't know.
Wait, when are we potting again?
That's the thing, right?
It's not. It's gonna be after.
I think
4th
it's
of July.
after that. After 4th
So
of
we're gonna
July,
have
so-
2 weeks off and then the 11th.
Yep.
Okay, I just wanna make
11th. Yeah, because then we'll do the 11th and then probably the last week of July.
Just we're gonna go another back to backs.
Hmm?
No,
No,
we can
it's-
do
Sorry.
the. Yeah, as I
Alternate.
said, there'll be 1 week in between.
The 25th.
alternate
That's
on
the
that.
last one.
So yeah. But yeah. So
I don't
hopefully
even know- I don't even know what I'm doing for 4th of July this year.
this might be our last 4th of July with the house. So.
This house?
Mm-hmm. Because she's gonna be fully moved out probably by July,
Mm.
and then they're gonna sell it. So
Hopefully you get 10 billion.
10 billion.
Yeah, 10 billion.
But yeah, so this is gonna be, I think, one of probably the emotional 4th of Julys we're gonna have, because obviously it's gonna be the last 4th of July at that house. Honestly, for me especially, I know for them it's gonna be, a really crazy change, because they've had that house forever. I mean, I can see the house from our bathroom window,
Mhm.
and I always look over there. It's gonna be weird to, eventually there's gonna be somebody else living there. Just knowing that when we walk by, like, that's not
Like that's
part of
not-
our family anymore, that type of shit.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be tough day, or tough month for that, and then when it actually gets sold, it's gonna be even worse. But
Mm.
yeah, man. Well, that's it for episode 136 of the Werkz. Again, this is the last pod of June, Men's Mental Health Month. But like we always say, mental health in general is important. So check on your family, check on your friends, and like we said earlier, ask the right questions. Don't just give the simple "Hey, are you okay?" Try to get some good questions out there. Try to get them to open up a little bit. Maybe just tell them, "Hey, man, if you're going through some stuff, let me know. I'm here to listen. I won't say anything, just here to vent." Right.
Let's go get some wings.
Yeah. Let's go get some coffee. That type of stuff. But yeah, man, check on your friends, check on your family, love on yours. Remember, tomorrow's not promised. Don't hold any grudges against your family. Yeah, man, that's it for me. You guys have anything?
I think we're good.
All right, man, that's it from us. Episode 136 of the Werkz. Catch you next week.
Back, baby. Shout out Juice on the beat.